What's up, YouTube? This is Chris, and this is my channel, of course, Bar None 11970. Thank you, as always, for taking the time out of your day to check out one of my videos. Alright, for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, as you could see by the outfit, my main job is being a massage therapist. Now, some people may not know how long I've been doing this, and an interesting scenario happened for the first time in my career. I have been officially a licensed massage therapist since October 31st, Halloween of 1995. So in about 2 weeks, it will be going on 19 years that I've been a licensed massage therapist. Absolutely love what I do. My job is to help people to feel better. I have a lot of people that come to me for medical problems, but I had an experience today that I've actually never had before. There was a young lady that came in, probably in her early to mid-20s, and she was 100% deaf. And you could tell by her inability to speak that she was deaf her entire life. Her father came to bring her in to treat her to a spa day, and when I see customers, like, for example, somebody that's very elderly, I've had people that have come to me with, they were dying of cancer. I've had people that came to me, they, just had a very hard life. I've had people that come to me where they had deaths in the family and they needed to do something just to kind of relax. So I kind of get a connection with those type of people. And this young lady, you could tell that she's had a hard life. She was of the bigger size, probably good 250, 260 pounds. She had her head shaved all the way around except for the top, so it was drooping to the side, covered in tattoos, and you could tell that she's probably never had a boyfriend in her life. She's probably been very protected by her family, probably made fun of a lot, because when I was doing the massage, first of all, it was challenging to be able to explain. She actually had to read my lips. And if you're a massage therapist, you know the rooms tend to be a little darker. So that was a little challenging. But she was a very sweet girl, very friendly. But I noticed she was covered in tattoos. And my instinct, because obviously I couldn't have a conversation with her because she couldn't even hear. And that was the first time she ever had a massage. And just seemed like an all-around sweet girl. But when I'm connected with somebody in that way and I'm doing the massage, I can almost sense what kind of life they had. I wish I could explain how I do it. But I can tell, especially by the fact that her body was up and down, almost fully covered with tattoos. Her back was pretty much, except for the top and the sides, was blank. But her left arm, she had a picture of a clock. She had a picture of maybe what she used to look like when she was younger, or a family member. A couple of slogans up and down her legs. I mean, I could tell, like, coming from a person when I was younger and I was in my depressed days, a lot of times when people are alone, and they are alone for long periods of time, they tend to do things to themselves to kind of give an excuse as to why people stay away from them. It's almost like a defense mechanism. So I can sense that a lot of the things that she put on her body and what she did to her body was a way to kind of justify why people probably stayed away from her. I just got that connection. I could be wrong. But one of the things that inspired me is I've been going through some crossroads recently, and my subscribers have been following me for a while, kind of know some of the situations that were going on. They're learning lessons, so I don't regret them. But obviously it makes you think certain ways, change your perspectives, learn what you want and what you don't want. So there was a lot of questions this morning about things in my life, the directions they're going. And for the first time in my life, I meet a person that seems like a very nice person, is going through a major disability of not being able to hear, unable to communicate with people with her voice. You could tell just by the way she presented herself that she looked very sweet, but she definitely had a if you didn't know she was deaf and you just saw her sitting in a park bench, you might just stay away from her because she kind of looks like a punk rocker, a big, hefty punk rock girl. So it's kind of standoffish. And in my 19 years of doing massage, I've never had a client that was deaf. So that was a different challenge. But it made me put things in better perspective. That here is a person that maybe from birth or early childhood lost their ability to hear. Unable to communicate, because when you can't hear, you can't tell the level of your voice other than the vibration of it. And you could tell just from almost the self-destructive kind of things that she's done to herself how difficult her life must have been. And yet she had family there that loved her. They treated her to a whole spa day. And I upgraded her from a regular Swedish massage. I added some scented aromatherapy oils. I added some vanilla oils. I just wanted to make this girl feel comfortable, feel almost loved in a way, cared about from somebody that didn't know them. And I walked out of there with $15 for that 1 hour massage. So for me, the money was not the issue. It was just seeing things that it kind of, like I always say, sometimes things present themselves to you and there's no accidents. Things always happen for a reason. I was meant to have that feeling and that connection with a total stranger when things were being questioned in my own life, because it makes you think about things in a different way. And sometimes when you think for yourself, sometimes you could be your own worst enemy, and seeing things from a different perspective kind of puts things differently and lets you see, well, maybe things aren't that bad. Maybe what we're all going through in our own way is difficult, but there's always somebody else that has a more difficult challenge, and if they could survive, you can survive. And as I was closing the massage towards the end, and I always finish on a person's back because I always find that's the most relaxing, so you save the best for last. And on the back of, across her back of her lower part of her neck, across the shoulders, across the back, she had this saying. And the first word on her neck was, it said faith. And there was a line underneath it in script that said, so basically it's faith, and then it says, makes all things possible, not easy. And to me, that really hit home of what her life must have been. That sometimes you just need faith to get by. And just because you have faith or perseverance or positive attitude, it doesn't make things easy. Sometimes the most challenging things are the most rewarding. And that's why, for example, if you're a sports athlete and you are one of the select few that make it to the top and become the top of the top, and you're talking millions of people on the planet, billions of people on the planet, and a small percentage work hard to get where they are, the achievement has got to be amazing, but there's got to be plenty of sacrifice as well. Now, some people work their way to the top, some people are handed the way to the top, and some people cheat their way to the top. It's all about what you think is right and what you think you are capable of, and getting to the understanding or the understanding that you are fully capable of doing anything that you want if you are willing to put in the work, put in the effort. And that's where we see throughout the government, throughout the world, and what corporations are doing, and what politicians are doing, is they're taking advantage of the fact that we have become willingly helpless, that we feel that we need to give the power to other people to take control of our lives, our happiness, our food, our water, our government, our rule. And yet we see time and time again, things are not getting better, things are not getting happier, people are not getting wealthier. Well, not the masses of people. There are definitely some people that profit off of our choice. But we lose the fact of the ability of knowing that we can control everything in our lives. And we've allowed bombardments of negativity and fear to make us lose our self-worth. And I think through all the things I had to experience in the past couple of weeks, it made me understand that it's my choice to allow negativity to affect me. I can't stop it. but I can choose how I can experience it through my own perception. And seeing this woman and just almost feeling not sorry for her, but feeling some empathy, and seeing that this woman was so excited about her first time having a spa day, and just people pampering her and a family caring enough to do this for her, knowing that she probably had an extremely difficult, if not challenging life, to where she, with all those tattoos and some of the sayings that were on them, it is obvious that she's been through a lot of pain. She's probably been made fun of her all her life for her disability. Probably did not have somebody ask her to the prom. Probably has not been married and may not ever be, which is a sad thing. But if people can understand or understand that there are people that have it so difficult and yet they can make it through their lives, it's all about perseverance. It's all about knowing that all things happen for a reason, but you have to pay attention. So I want this video to be an inspiration. I like to try and do this. I like to vary my channel. It's never going to be the same because it's just what I feel like talking about. And if I can bring anything to the table, it's the fact that I want people to see they have their own self-worth. They have their own self-power. Who cares what anybody else thinks or says? Because it's nothing more than their opinion. It's when we allow it to affect us, is when we are controlled and guided in a way that we don't want to be. And there are people that will take advantage and profit off of the fact that they know they can hurt other people through words or through silly little actions. But ultimately we allow it to happen, sometimes just through our silence. And if you can get it through that you are a beautiful person no matter what anybody says, no matter what you are, because it's the inside of what you do that matters. You could be the most beautiful person on the planet, but if your whole way of life is hurting and stepping on others, then you're not a beautiful person. Makes you very ugly. And sometimes people are so afraid to fix themselves, and they are so angry or so sad and depressed that they lash out to hurt others because it's easier than taking the responsibility and the effort to fix themselves and better themselves by bettering the world around them. And until we all get it through our heads that that's what we have to do to make real change, positive change, is by looking into ourselves and changing from there out, because you can't love others if you don't understand love and treat yourself with love. Things are not going to change. At least they're not going to be for the better for the majority. A few people are always going to profit because they understand what it takes. And people like myself, and I'm sure a lot of others that subscribe to my channel, are not willing to step all over people and hurt them to succeed. And it always comes with a price. It's the yin and the yang, the negative and positive, the give and take. Just believe in yourself, even if nobody else believes in you. Because you can't change the world unless you change your inside. And have the confidence of knowing that no matter what you do, sometimes people are not going to agree with you. Sometimes they're not going to like you. Sometimes they're going to flat out hate you and want to wish you harm. But you can't control them. You can only control you. And sometimes it takes seeing somebody else having a much more challenging life than yourself to realize that if they can do it, I can do it. So what happened to me today for the first time in 19 years of doing massage was no accident. It was there to show me that it's not as bad as sometimes even I might think it is. And I can always do better. And I want to pass that on to my subscribers who care, to know that you can always do better once you realize it's your choice to do or not do. And I hope you'll choose to do the right thing. And I hope you'll believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, doesn't matter what anybody else says. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.